Are you a literature lover? Are you tired of reading literature that does not resonate with our time? Do you have questions about literature? If so, welcome to the podcast, My Two Cents Worth, with Odelia Wakesho, the platform that discusses literature in relation to our times. I am uniquely Kenyan and relevantly African, hence my focus, African literature. This video is a continuation of the series Daring the Undaring Part 3. Please listen till the end. You will definitely have food for thought. Let us settle in. A kind reminder, if you're new in my channel, please subscribe. Thank you. In this episode, I intend to shed light on daring the undaring from a textual approach. My fellow literature lovers, I want to believe that from the onset of this series, we have progressively been unwrapping what it means to dare the undared. I am sure you are getting your personalized takeaway points. One thing to note, as I explore the various African books, I must say, I give respect to our legendary iconic parents of African literature, such as Ngugi wa Thiong'o, Wallen Soyinka, Chimamanda Adichie, just to name a few. However, on the flip side, I strongly laud the upcoming authors who single-handedly break the odds to unconfine the African literary space by voicing out their downright voices to the so-called Generation Z. Oh, are you a Generation Z, by the way? If yes, well and good. If not, no worries. We are sailing on the same boat. Let us start off. The first textual evidence on daring the undaring is Romeo Origun's in Sacrament of Bodies. It is a poetry collection that dares the undared in creating a bigger discourse about queerness in African literature. It is prudent to state that Origun's authorial intrusion is paradoxical in nature on one hand, showing the edginess of personal thoughts against the society's prejudice, while on the other hand, it is a subtle showcase of individuals' flaws. A good example is the poem Heaven is a Back Alley Without God. The persona makes a mockery of a pastor who walks through the wooden houses at night in the name of finding solace in a boy, whom surprisingly the pastor covers the boy with his hands before calling him sin on Sunday. Herein, Origun does this daringly to unfold the level of bias and outright deceit in churches. The second textual evidence on daring the undaring is in Wild Imperfections, a womanist anthology of poems compiled by Natalia Molebatsi. It is a collection featuring the work of Black women poets from Botswana to Brazil. It is a daring anthology deliberately designed for the widely imperfect gender, women. Women who have rejected societal standards that basically disguises self-heart in the name of proving a point. Ensure you have a read on this. The anthology aligns perfectly with the Daring the Undaring, right from the various poem structures to the poem's resounding message of rebellion, as a sense of urgency for every woman from far and beyond to hold on to their imperfection. Candidly speaking, it is easier said than done. For when it's done, then nothing at all will appear to be endearing, for the women shall have already dared. The third textual evidence. Wait, hold on. Have you ever been dumped, fired, or experienced any semblance of rejection? Then, this book is for you to dare read. In Confident and Killing It by Tiwalola. It is a practical guide to overcoming fear and unlocking your most empowered self. Tiwalola dares the undared by challenging her readers to become the most unapologetic and unstoppable version of themselves. Primarily, it is a book that helps one to overcome fear and live life to the fullest. The YOLO vibe, you only live once. I quote, getting sassy with negative thoughts and succeeding in all areas of life. End quote. I can't emphasize further. It is all about the practical tips and tricks and real-life stories from everyday women in discovering your authentic self, what you're capable of, bouncing back to unlocking your most confident self. Haven't we already got dared? Let's go. Last but not least is In Writing Robotics, Africa versus Asia, edited by Tendai Wanaka. In Writing Robotics is a book that features 18 writers and poets from two regions, Asia and Africa, working conjointly in this daring discourse of robots in whatever form. The book highlights how both Africa and Asia are coming to terms with the everyday, oncoming robotics revolution. In context, it is the now so-called Fourth Industrial Revolution. I mean, how can we not fathom this ever-evolving discourse? From the traditional African robotic science to the latest robots and the imagined robots of tomorrow. I know we know of the world's first robot hotel, Heina Hotel in Tokyo, Japan, that is run entirely by robots, from the front desk personnel to every little need you may require will be sorted out by robots. Weird, right? This is an ongoing conversation from a tech point of view, where the dependency on AI is overwhelmingly in our eyes. A point in case is South Korea, that is in the lead with the world's best giant robot as of 2015. In Writing Robotics book, the authors have solely made it their prime purpose to dare the undared by encouraging rather than scaring people to simply embrace this revolution and know that robots are already part of us as we are a part of them. Wow. At this juncture, let us reflect on this. Daring, then daring indeed. That's all I have for you today. Kindly subscribe and share this podcast with your family and friends. Thank you and see you next time.